Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening. First tonight, Devonport's Central Business District has been evacuated after a gas leak prompted authorities to shut down the city late this afternoon. It was caused by a car crash which hospitalised several people, one of them seriously. Nick Kelly is on the scene for us live. Nick, what more can you tell us?
Well, the gas has been cut to the CBD now, Kim, but this still remains very much a developing situation. Until a short time ago, there was a very distinct smell of gas in the air. That has now dissipated. But while that's a very dangerous situation in itself, the crash that caused this situation was very serious as well. A small Hyundai leaving Rook Street and veering onto the footpath, whereas it has hit and injured 2 pedestrians. The worst of them, a 61-year-old woman, has been airlifted to the Royal Hobart Hospital in a serious condition. Now, that car has damaged 2 shop fronts, but also a gas main, sparking the evacuation of hundreds of people from the CBD and a very delicate 30-minute long operation to try and stop the flow of gas.
The complexities to shut gas off is not easy. It was a perfect storm for the location of the gas valve to shut off, and where the vehicle has struck the shop was right outside where the gas isolation valve was.
At around 2 o'clock we just start to smell all the gas, so we have to evacuate all the customer and the staff. The restaurant was full, but also tonight, because definitely we can open tonight, so we have about 120 customer booking already, so it's a big problem.
3 other people have also been hospitalised with throat irritation, believed to have been caused by the gas that was in the air. Now this area has been made safe. Business owners are now being escorted in by authorities to open up their shop fronts to try and vent any gas that has made its way inside. But Kim, this area of the CBD is expected to remain closed for quite some time.
And quite some clean-up there too by the looks of it. Nick, thank you. And the role of rail in growing forestry and reducing the load on our roads is being recognised. More than 250,000 tonnes of logs were shifted in the past financial year alone.
Far from dead wood, Tasrail is helping lift Tasmania's forestry industry.
We've got bookends, new log tainers, end gates on our fixed wagon fleet and additional hard stand.
From 20,000 tonnes a year transported via rail in 2014, 260,000 are now being shifted via the tracks.
We're 75% carbon emission reduction compared to the alternative on road.
Were Tasrail not carrying these record volumes approaching 3 million tonne per year, that would be the equivalent of an extra 200,000 B-doubles on our roads in Tasmania.
Labor's still putting the government's methods of spruiking its policies under the microscope, calling for the Premier to pay back $22,000 spent on boosting Facebook ads.
But instead he's decided to use taxpayers' money to feather his own nest to make him look better, and I don't think that's appropriate.
Promoting government policies and messages through existing communications budgets is something that is quite normal.
After 7 Tasmania News revealed another workplace safety incident at the Yoel stables, Dean Winter has continued calls for the leading harness trainer Ben Yoel to be stood down.
We can't continue to operate in this way in racing. Everyone that goes to work needs to be safe.
There is an active investigation ongoing with WorkSafe. They're the appropriate regulator, and they'll be working through that matter.
Ben Yoel said he's introduced a written fatigue management policy along with other workplace manuals. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
A war memorial in Claremont has been defaced. It's the second time the monument in Windermere Community Foreshore Park has been targeted in less than a year. Disappointed, the RSL is urging the vandals to stop and think about the veterans and families that their crimes are affecting. Tasmanian-born and raised Crown Princess Mary of Denmark will make history this weekend, becoming the first Australian to hold regal status. The stage is almost set for the coronation as locals prepare to celebrate the momentous occasion.
An array of gifts fit for our future Queen. A hue and pine table, a piece of home for the Tasmanian-born Crown Princess Mary.
Something that we hope, in our own humble way and something that's extraordinary as well, will take a place of pride in the palace.
A $10,000 donation also for the Alana and Madeline Foundation, a cause close to the princess's heart.
The money will be used to support our care, prevention and advocacy programming.
The City of Hobart taking a natural approach, planting a blue gum tree in the King and Queen's honour.
And we've done that because it is Tasmania's floral emblem, so it is a really significant tree. It's a very grand tree.
All celebrating the soon-to-be monarch who from the very start has captured the hearts of Denmark.
Her qualities as a human being are just really essential in her performing that role in a way that the Danes will really appreciate.
Tasmania will mark the momentous occasion in its own unique way. The Tasman Bridge among the local landmarks to light up in the colours of the Danish flag on Sunday night, as locals themselves beam with pride in their princess.
She's going to do a wonderful job. She's got presence, poise and beauty, which doesn't go astray.
That's exciting. Some from Tasmania becoming Queen, that's really cool. That's a really cool development.
Among the excitement of the upcoming coronation, a surprise movement has taken over social media. A Facebook group of local royal fans is calling for Tasmania to have its very own Queen's birthday holiday, marking Princess Mary's special day.
Yeah, I could definitely get around extra public holiday, yeah.
No, I don't think that's necessary.
Absolutely, I think maybe a couple of days just to really make the most of such a big iconic moment.
An iconic moment for Tasmania and the history books. Victoria Easto, 7 Tasmania News.
The Tasmania Football Club is about to kick off its first community event for the year. For more, we're joined by our reporter Brianna Boylan, and Bree, the event is booked out.
That's right, Kim. It's set to be a full house here at the Moona Arts Centre. So while the political stadium has become a political football, there has been strong support for a Tasmanian team in the AFL. Now, behind me you can see 100 locals will get the chance to have their say in their hopes and dreams for the club here tonight. The 2-hour event will get underway shortly and will include a panel conversation with retired star Jack Riewoldt and former Collingwood ruck Abby Groon, who are eager to hear from those on the ground.
Canteen door had to be taken off because they'd sold the stretcher the week before and someone needed to be stretchered off the ground. It's those unique stories that actually build up the fabric of who we are.
We just want to hear their stories, their upbringing, things from the past, funny events, their family history about football, and yes, ultimately all about what makes Tassie great and our rich sporting history in football.
Now, 5 more community consultation events are lined up for the month, with Kettering and St Helens on the schedule this weekend. But Kim, tickets are limited, so anyone interested in having their say is urged to go online now.
Okay, thank you very much, Bree. Well, one of Tasmania's most prominent Aboriginal leaders has renewed her calls to change the date of Australia Day. Nala Mansell says January 26 marks a day of pain for First Nations people. She's challenging the Prime Minister to listen to the community, saying recent events show more people are turning their back on the day.
The rallies and protests in each state and territory across the country are getting bigger and bigger each year. We're seeing sporting clubs, local councils change the date of their celebrations.
Her comments come in the wake of state service employees now being granted their Australia Day leave on a date of their choosing.
Daria Savills' Hobart International is over, but she didn't go down without a fight. The wildcard pushing #1 seed Elise Mertens to 3 sets at the Domain Tennis Centre, but the Belgian was too good, winning the semi-final 6-4, 4-6, 7-5.
With the top seed facing the informed wildcard, something had to give.
Huge slice of luck for Mertens.
And it did.
She's got it. It's just squirmed in from Mertens.
Mertens keeping the Aussie under pressure. But a decade after her first Hobart International appearance, this isn't Savills' first rodeo.
That will do. Back on track.
Repeatedly breaking the 2-time Hobart champion serve.
Outstanding.
The crowd on the Aussie side, despite occasionally winding up in the line of fire. But it would be the Belgian who would claim the first set 6-4. Savills with work to do against the 2-time champion, who was covering the court and also having some luck with the net. Mertens showing why she's the #1 seed.
It's in. Flip the line.
As the second set tightened, the millimetres were beginning to matter. The Aussie pulling off some super shots to make a move, levelling it up at a set-all.
It's wide, and the second set goes the way of the Australian.
And keeping the momentum going in the third.
What a return.
Both players traded breaks early in the decider, as the crowd got behind the Aussie. Mertens held a nerve at 4-5 down, and then broke Saville, before ending her dream run.
The top seed does it again in Hobart.
The Belgian now has a chance to win a third Hobart International crown. John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
A former Richmond icon is gearing up to come home and play in the TSL. Jack Riewoldt's return to boyhood club Clarence is part of a string of initiatives designed to set the Roos up for a stellar decade.
He's football royalty with 347 AFL games, 3 premierships and 3 Coleman medals to his name. Jack Riewoldt, however, has unfinished business with the club where it all began.
This is home for me, for where football really started for me. It started for my family as well. My father played 297 games here.
Returning to Clarence after nearly 2 decades, coaches are thrilled to have Jack back for at least 1 game.
If we can sneak 3 to qualify for finals, you never know.
My body's got to hold up, so I had a bit of shoulder surgery about 4 weeks ago before I got on the boat to come down here.
His presence a dream come true for local players working towards their own AFL careers.
Most of them, our demographic, our age group of our players, have grown up watching him play. So to be able to run around, hopefully on this surface, is just going to be fantastic.
I can see young talent here, young sporting talent that can exceed at the national level and international level, and just to maybe light that fire a little bit and show that little glimpse of hope that it is achievable is why I do stuff like this.
Further details on Jack's match will be released with this year's TSL fixture. The club also busy off the field. Clarence's junior and senior programs emerging to become Tasmania's largest football club in terms of participation and memberships, putting it in good stead to keep kicking goals. Brianna Boylan, 7 Tasmania News.
Scott Roth is smiling again after Wednesday's loss, teaming up with Taswater to convince fans to ditch single-use water bottles. Jack the Jumper refusing to comment on the side's hot and cold season, which will hopefully be brought under control at MyState Bank Arena tonight against the Hawks.
Illawarra have been, a good matchup for us in the past, so we're obviously fingers crossed that'll continue tonight. But, we want to start to separate from the pack. It's really unpredictable at the moment, so yeah, this time of year is really a good time to get some wins on the board.
A strong win will see the Jackies jump to second on the ladder. Tip-off is 7:30. The Hurricanes won't play BBL finals after coming under fire on home turf last night. A packed hill watching the Strikers chase down a respectable 167-run target with ease, thanks largely to Jake Weatherald, who was keeping those even in the nosebleeds on their toes with 80 runs off just 32 balls.
It's disappointing because we feel like we have the team to win it, but yeah, things don't go your way. But I mean, if you're having to rely on those things for a tournament, you probably haven't played to your best.
Although the Canes are out of the finals hunt, they have a chance to end the season on a high on Monday against the Stars at the G.
Good evening. Hobart 26 today and Launceston 27. A little bit cooler on the northwest coast, but not so in the Derwent Valley. Ouse and Maydena 30, along with Campania, the state's top. Grove 29 today, Friendly Beaches 27, King Island and St Helens 26, Lyre, Weenie and Strawn 25. A little low cloud and fog cleared this morning to a fine, clear, sunny day. A little bit of high cloud moved in this afternoon. A band of cloud to our west extends back to WA. Storms kicked off again over inland New South Wales and the tropics. Tomorrow, the cold front deposits a trough on us as it passes. A high south of the Bight reaches the eastern parts of the country. Winds southwest to southerly at 15 to 25 knots. They'll tend southerly up the east coast, reaching 30 knots. We have a strong wind warning. That's from Sandy Cape to Stanley, and also all the waters from Wineglass Bay down and around to Low Rocky Point. The weekend for Hobart, partly cloudy and 22, 19 for Medina, an early shower clearing. Oatlands okay and 22 degrees. Launceston 27, a shower or two, 70% chance, so it'll happen. 25 for Devonport, 20 the top for Lyowini with a shower as well. Burnie a late shower, 23 the maximum, 20 for Strawn, becoming windy for Marrawar and 21 the maximum. St Helens a high of 22, an early shower for Swansea, 21 the top, 22 for Orford. On Sunday, mainly fine, partly cloudy, apart from a shower, mainly isolated showers over the north. Fine and partly cloudy weather on Monday for most of Tasmania, and on Tuesday showers on the way as the winds freshen from the southwest. Sunny and 41 in Perth, 32 the top for Adelaide tomorrow, a cloudy 23 in Melbourne, a possible late storm in Canberra, a late shower and 30 in Sydney, and still wet up the Queensland coast and the top end. And current conditions still warm and mostly cloudy around the state at the moment. Lots happening this weekend, Kim. Of course, if you're heading to the Cygnet Folk Festival, there are free buses in Hobart heading out from the Grand Chancellor, but you've got to book online. Of course, the word folk festival comes from the German word Volk. But you don't care, you're going to the tennis.
Probably, but I do love how intelligent you can act sometimes, act being the word. That is all your news for now. I'll be back later with updates. Thanks for joining us. Good night, everyone.